What's happening, my good people? Once again, it's your chill brother from another, Mr. All About My Biz. And listen, we just want to handle our biz with yet another episode of the Playbook Podcast, y'all. Listen, this episode, man, with everything that's happening and what's popping off in the NBA, I just want to know who's ready to leave an impact. You know, impact players are the ones that change, are game changers, if you will. And a lot of us, we're looking at life and looking to be a game changer. So we're going to talk about that in this episode of the Playbook Podcast as we go around the NBA, the NFL, and college basketball. You know how we get down, we get groovy on this show. All right, so listen, y'all already know what the deal is. No need to quit. Y'all follow the script. And y'all continue to follow us on Google Podcasts, Spreaker, Anchor, and Spotify as we continue to expand our horizons, meet and reach the masses to turn and bring the barbershop to your podcast. All right. So listen, here's the flavor for this evening. All right. Around the NBA, y'all know how we get down with the opening tip, right? So with the opening tip, we got the play-in tournament. And man, it's a genius idea. It was a genius idea for the NBA to put together the play-in tournament. I'm going to talk about the impact of the play-in tournament and how it has been a great thing for the NBA. Also, Moran, I got to talk about this young brother who doesn't get as much credit as he really, truly deserves, especially in his class with Zion and with some other impact players. But Moran proved the other night that, he belongs. Also, award finalists for the NBA, around the NBA with the Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved, and the Sixth Man. So we're going to go over the finals. I'm going to give my predictions on that postseason series around the first round. We had some first round games happening this weekend already with Miami and Milwaukee going down to the wire. Also, Dallas and the Clippers. Also, Boston and the Brooklyn Nets. I'm going to talk to you guys about what my predictions are in the first round in the NBA playoffs as well. Around the NFL, around the gridiron, Julio Jones is now available via the Atlanta Falcons, looking to get rid of their superstar player. We're going to talk about who is the best landing spot for Julio Jones. Also, Tim Tebow signs for the minimum. And listen, I just want to know, can he really make the roster? That's going to be part of our poll question in this show as well. Kelvin Benjamin signs with Big Blue at tight end. Ryan Kerrigan signs with Philly. Also, my best free agents available around the NFL. Also, around college basketball, Oregon lands Syracuse transfer Quincy Guerrier. That's a big-time move for the Oregon Ducks. Also, the new top 25 rankings around college basketball. Y'all know what it is. The trivia question of the day. And I got to get your mind right for the week to come with the championship speech. Listen, leave y'all impact on the world, and I'm going to continue to give you guys that business. All right? This is the Playbook Podcast. Let's get going. Let's go. What's happening, my good people, family? Once again, it's another rendition of the Playbook Podcast. It's your chill brother from another, Mr. All About My Biz. And listen, I'm just trying to handle my biz so I can take care of my future kids, all right? So listen, this episode, we got it all for you, man. It's a jam-packed, another great episode of the Playbook Podcast. Listen, follow us on Spreaker, Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and listen, at any other podcast platform as we continue to reach and expand our horizons, man, around the podcast platforms around the world, y'all. So listen, without further ado, no more fluff. Let's get into the stuff. This is the opening tip. So with the opening tip, y'all, we got to talk about the impact of the play-in tournament. And man, it has been must-see TV other than the Indiana Pacers laying the lumber on the Charlotte Hornets. Man, that first game was atrocious. LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, Charlotte Hornets. Y'all weren't ready for the show. Point blank, period. And it just showed with how you all came out lethargic from the get-go. And you guys are young guys. I mean, it just seemed like the pressure was too much for them at this particular stage in their NBA career. But other than that, these play-in tournament games have been phenomenal. I mean, the Grizzlies and the Spurs going at it. Golden State and the Lakers going down to the wire. Boston and the Wizards. I mean, Jason Tatum went bananas with 50 points. Honestly, I had Washington winning that game. They had all the momentum going into it, but Jason Tatum just proved to me how big his star actually is in Boston and what he's going to mean to the Boston Celtics in the foreseeable future with that performance the other night. LeBron hit the game winner over Steph, and it almost was similar to what happened 5 years ago with Kyrie hitting the bucket over Steph in the NBA Finals. Russ, he was able to keep his promise to the nation's capital in the district and say, hey, mid-season, we're going to get to the playoffs. And sure enough, Russ was able to lead the Washington Wizards over the same Indiana Pacers in the play-in game to get Washington into the playoffs. Ja Morant went one-on-one with Steph Curry, and the young boy was able to cook up a mean meal against the babyface assassin as Ja Morant proved his worth and got the Memphis Grizzlies over the hump to the playoffs for the first time in 5 seasons. Man, listen, this play-in tournament was a great idea. It brings a greater element of the playground, bringing a playground to the NBA. I added spice to the NBA product. Adam Silver, the NBA brass, you guys did a phenomenal job. I don't care what LeBron says. LeBron's just going to cry over anything anyway, especially if he's not getting his way, especially with everything that happened with the Lakers season so far, with COVID protocols, him being out with injury. Same thing with Anthony Davis as well. It just was more of LeBron complaining. But I digress in regards to LeBron right now. But either way, listen, this play-in tournament has been must-see TV. Ratings have been up. I want to see more of the play-in tournament moving forward. And I think a lot of us NBA fans would love to see more of it in the future as well. I got to give some props to Ja Morant, man. This young brother, 21 years old. Zion Williamson gets a lot of the bulk of popularity and notoriety because of his star, being a Jordan brand player now, and got a new shoe and everything of that nature. But Ja Morant has proved, hey, I'm ready for the big time. I'm hungry. I want to get to the playoffs. My team is equipped for a run to the playoffs as well. Man, young brother went 35 on the Golden State Warriors in overtime the other night. And, yo, the last couple of minutes of the overtime, he proved that he is ready for prime time. I mean, different moves that he made on Toscano Anderson, the last dagger bucket, the spin in the lane, and the kiss with the floater. I mean, young brother, he's ready. He's ready. He is ready, and it's going to be interesting to see how Memphis plays, especially with Mike Conley having a little bit of a chance of revenge against the old team that traded him just a couple of seasons ago to pave the way for Ja Morant. It's going to be some great basketball, man. This matchup with Boston and Brooklyn. Kyrie facing Boston again. A couple of other teams going back and forth as well. Yo, this whole NBA playoffs is going to be phenomenal. Boston was the Eastern Conference finalist last season. And speaking of finalists, we got the awards finalists in the NBA with the Coach of the Year, the Sixth Man of the Year, Rookie of the Year, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved, and the Sixth Man. And listen, I'm going to give you guys my predictions so far. And I've already given a few of them to you so far, a little bit over the last couple of weeks with my top 5 list. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my predictions now and get them out the way. For MVP, y'all, listen, if we went 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago, pardon me, if we're going according to 2 months ago, it's all Steph Curry's MVP. But if we're looking at the entire body of work, Nikola Jokic, to me, is the MVP. Embiid, he was out for a good while, good stretch, but Jokic has been a constant mainstay for Denver. Even without Jamal Murray, they went on a tear. They still went on a nice winning streak. Gotta give the nod to Jokic for MVP. For Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go with LaMelo Ball over Anthony Edwards slightly. Again, it's all about the body of work. Anthony Edwards has more points per game, but at the same time, I'm going to give it to LaMelo because of the fact that overall, his impact to his team was, I mean, you could sense what type of energy he brought to the Charlotte Hornets team whenever he was on the floor. So I'm going to give the Rookie of the Year to LaMelo Ball. Defensive Player of the Year, I'm going to go with Ben Simmons, slightly over Rudy Gobert. Ben Simmons has made it his mission to be greater on the defensive end than he has been on the offensive end. He still can't shoot to save his life, period. But he's probably never going to be a great shooter. But his impact on the defensive side of the ball has been a great calling card for helping Philadelphia get the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. I'm going to go with Ben Simmons for Defensive Player of the Year. Most improved, it's not even close. It's Julius Randle, and that's all I got to say about that. Sixth Man of the Year, Joe Ingles, Jordan Clarkson, Derrick Rose. Got 2 guys representing the Utah Jazz. I'm going to go with Jordan Clarkson. He is the J.R. Smith of this era. I'm going to put it like that. He has the ultimate green light in Utah, and they allow him to shoot the ball as much as he wants. I'm going to give the edge to Jordan Clarkson for the Sixth Man of the Year. Coach of the Year, I'm going to go with Tibbs because, listen, without Coach Tibbs, the New York Knicks would not have the 4th seed in the East right now, and what he's meant for that franchise and organization and how they've been able to turn everything around in year 1 has been absolutely phenomenal. What he's been able to do, he's turned Julius Randle into an all-star. Julius Randle, he's always been a okay. He's been kind of right there on the precipice. Tom Thibodeau has turned this man into an all-star. Tom Thibodeau, to me, Coach of the Year. All right, so with all the finalists and the NBA awards out the way, we got to talk about the ultimate award, which is the NBA championship, as we march our way towards the trophy, right? So I'm going to give you my first round series predictions in the NBA. Let's start in the Eastern Conference, if you will. In the East, I'm going to go with Philly over Washington in the sweep. I'm going to go with the New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks going to 7 games. I got the Knicks winning in 7 games over the Atlanta Hawks. Milwaukee and Miami played earlier this weekend, and Chris Middleton saved Milwaukee. Seriously, that jumper in overtime was almost Kobe-esque over the Suns back in 2007. But Milwaukee needs to really get out on the break a lot. Miami was able to get whatever they wanted on offense, but I still give the edge slightly in the series to Milwaukee. I don't think Giannis is going to allow his team to get bounced that easily again like last season. So I give the edge to Milwaukee 4-2 over Miami. Boston and Brooklyn. Brooklyn has all the momentum. Got Kyrie, you got James Harden, you got KD all playing now. Finally, Brooklyn wins in 5. 4-1 over Boston. Western Conference, I got Utah over Memphis 4-1. I got Dallas taking care of the Clippers 4-2. Luka the Don is ready for his ascent up the ladder in the NBA. He proved it today. He proved it this weekend as well with 31, 10, and 11 with a triple-double. Reggie Jackson is not going to be able to hold him at all, period. If you got Porzingis back as well, you got an added element on that side of the ball. Dallas 4-2 over the Clips. Denver, Portland, this one has to go 7 games. I'm feeling like this is going to go 7. I'm going to give the edge to Denver at home in Game 7. I got to go with the Denver Nuggets in 7 over the Portland Trailblazers. Phoenix and the Lakers. Listen, Vegas has it all Lakers easy. I'm not part of that crew. I'm personally not part of that crew. I like Phoenix to really make this thing interesting. Devin Booker has never been to the playoffs. He's finally here. This young brother, he's going to be ready to show.